sold cattle. We go to cattle sales there in Palmyra, Indiana, Arkansas. We sell them cattle. We go into midnight cows, bring home about, sell them trailer, and pick them out and lock it with they had $100 on the head, and then so we're all
having the old barn repainted. And the first thing they have to do is spray off the old paint. This barn is over 150 years old. The farm was bought in 1851 and the barn was built
tired? That way you just pull your arm once and let it fly. Yeah, I just usually shake hands. Hard to do.
We're getting a lot of work done this summer. The barn's being repainted. The machine shed has been completely cleaned out. There's nothing in there except for the tractor. We're putting clay down to make the floor more solid, and then we're going to put rock on top of the clay. And the electricity is going to be ran from this pole here over to the barn, the machine shed, and then we're putting an outlet over here by this bin so that Jody can hook up her RV to a 30 amp. So a lot of electricity being put in and a lot of painting being done. Where are the doors? Go there. We've had a lot of rain this summer. It rained like just about every day in June and half of July. And they'll eventually get back here and paint this north end. So it'll be nice to have the whole thing painted. But right now they're painting just the wood parts, and then they'll eventually come back and repaint everything. So they're having to work around all this rain. Like I said, it's like just about every day in June it rained. 10 days in July it has rained. And so because of all the rain, we're a little delayed in getting things done, and they're having to work around it. Okay, so the painter is back today. As you can see, they have the south end finished. And I think they're working down here on the north end. Or actually, this is the west side that he's on right now. But he will eventually get around to this north side. Looking good, James.
Yes, hello.
Hello, it's looking good.
To save this old barn.
Yep. Okay, so James, you've been working on this barn for quite a while now, and I notice you always have on this white mask.
Yes.
And as I get closer, I notice, what is that?
This is a hood rag. I call it a hood rag. It's a t-shirt. You turn it around backwards, and you tie the arms at the back. Keeps it out of your hair. The oil-based paint's hard to get out of your hair. You know, when you paint.
Wow, that is
and then
quite
you
the
can
tip.
also pull this up like that, and it keeps it out of your lungs and stuff too.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's the best. It's not a real good filter, but it works. It works.
Well, I've seen you wearing it, and as I got closer today, I noticed, I think that's a t-shirt.
Yes, it is.
And it is a t-shirt.
You throw them away. You get them at yard sale, you know, a quarter, and you throw them away.
And that's the neck hole that's facing, that's around your face.
Yeah, you just tie the two arms. You tie the two arms together like that in the back, and just one tie, and then tuck in the rest in the front like that, and then you pull it up, and you could put Vaseline around your eyes and stuff, and then when you're done, all you gotta do is wipe it, because sometimes it's hard to get out of your eyebrows and stuff.
Okay, so for all you future painters out there, James Moss is telling you a unique trick here. So,
thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so James is out here this evening, and he is putting on the first coat of an oil-based paint here on the north end of the old barn.
It'll soak into that wood, and it's oil-based, of course.
Yeah. And the first coat just kind of soaks right into the wood. And then the second coat, of course, will give it that nice glossy look. We do have a storm rolling in, but this is an oil-based paint. So by him putting on this first coat of oil-based paint, it will repel the water so that tomorrow he can put on the second coat, no problem. The storm's not supposed to be just too bad, so shouldn't get super rainy. This has been one of the wettest, rainiest summers. You just kind of have to work in between the rain. So yeah, so James Moss is out here, and he is painting the north end of the old barn. Okay, friends, so the old barn is finally completely repainted. James even made us a sign for the hayloft door that says 1851. Now, 1851 is the year that the farm was actually purchased by the first Hancocks. The barn probably wasn't built until a few years later, but his heart was in the right place. So the farm has been around since 1851, which is now 170 years. The barn would probably be about 165 years maybe, but still very, very old barn. And we're going to go around and we're going to take a look at all the sides. So here's the front. And then I'll go around here to the west. The west side was wood at one time, and I think it was John's father that decided to put the corrugated metal over the top to help seal it better. So the sides have since been changed to metal. Corrugated metal like what's on the roof. The bottom part is painted. We decided to do electricity this year instead of having the roof painted, but the roof is the next thing on our list. So, and then here is the north side. But to help with the preservation of the barn, we definitely wanted to make sure that we had all of the wood painted. Okay, and then now we are on the east side. And from the east side, I will tell you that the barn is actually in 3 different stages. The first part of the barn up there was built by the first Hancock brothers, and like I said, we think it was built around 1855 maybe, so it's like over 165 years old. And then this back part from there on was built by John's father right after World War II. So we're thinking like 1945 maybe. And then the middle part here, to allow for bigger tractors, John himself went back and kind of built that middle part up higher. And I think he said he did that like in the mid 1980s. So this barn has been worked on by 3 different Hancock generations, and it has stood the test of time. So it's a nice long barn, and it has been put to many uses. And this year we were going to do the whole barn, but then we decided we wanted to do electricity to the machine shed and the barn, and so we had to make a cut somewhere because of, you know, finances. And so we decided to cut out the barn roof this year, because the roof, even though it doesn't look the prettiest, it is pretty waterproof. I mean, you can go in that barn and you won't find a wet spot. So we're saving the painting of the roof until hopefully next year. We'll put it into the budget for next year. But we really wanted to get the sides and the ends painted, like I said, for preservation issues, because the barn is this wood. Now this side is still wood. This is what the whole sides used to look like, was all the wood panels. But to help save the wood, John's dad then added some corrugated tin to it. But I think the barn is beautiful, and it's one of my favorite places to hang out. So thank you, James Moss, for doing such awesome work. And friends, if you like this video about the repainting of the old barn, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to know more about what's going on in my corner of the world, hit that subscribe button to Kim's Country Corner and come see what Paulo and I are up to on the homestead.